At 14, my parents made me sign a $600 rent contract or leave home. A week later, a lawyer's letter landed on their table, and their faces went pale. I was 2 weeks into being 14 when Dad dropped the folder on my desk. "You're old enough to contribute now," he said flatly. "Sign this or find somewhere else to live." Inside was a typed contract. Rent, $600 monthly, due first of each month. Late fees, $50. Chores list with penalty deductions. My hands shook reading it. Where am I supposed to get $600? His face hardened. "That's your problem. Get a job. Your brother managed just fine." My brother Kyle was 19, moved out at 16 after signing the same contract. He worked 2 jobs through high school, barely graduated, now delivers pizzas. Mom stood in the doorway. "This is how the real world works, sweetie. We're teaching you responsibility." The set of Dad's jaw told me arguing was pointless. "You have until Friday," he said. "Sign it or pack." Thursday night, I still hadn't signed. I researched what jobs a 14-year-old could even get. Most required being 16. None would pay $600 monthly. Dad knocked once. Last chance. Something felt deeply wrong, but what choice did I have? I signed. Friday morning, I stopped at the library. Mrs. Harper, the librarian, noticed me hovering. "You okay, Jordan?" The whole story spilled out. Her expression shifted from concern to anger. "Wait here," she said. She returned with her phone. "My sister's a family lawyer. You need to talk to her. Now." That afternoon, I sat in a glass office while a woman in a sharp suit read my contract with tight lips. "How old are you?" Rachel asked. 14. "And they threatened to evict you?" I nodded. She leaned back. "You're a minor. This contract is completely unenforceable. Your parents are legally obligated to provide you housing until you're 18. They can't charge you rent. They especially can't evict you." The relief nearly knocked me over. What they're doing is financial exploitation of a minor, possibly child abuse. She pulled out her firm's letterhead. "I'm going to send your parents a letter explaining the law." "I can't pay you," I said quietly. She smiled. "Pro bono. Cases like this make me sick." 3 days later, I came home to chaos. Dad's face was purple red. Mom looked like she'd been crying. The lawyer's letter sat on the kitchen table. "You went to a lawyer?" Dad's voice shook. "You betrayed your own family? You tried to illegally charge your 14-year-old rent," I said. "That's not family. That's exploitation." Mom started crying. "We were just trying to teach you responsibility. The lawyer said what you did was child abuse." The words landed like bombs. Dad's jaw clenched. "We could lose our jobs over this. Maybe you should have thought about that before threatening to kick out your child." The letter was clear. "Cease all attempts to collect rent. Void the contract immediately. Any further action would result in a report to Child Protective Services." They tried every angle. Guilt, logic, threats. But the lawyer had coached me. I stayed quiet, documented everything. A week later, Dad tried again. "Let's forget the contract. How about $200? I pulled out my phone, texting Rachel. The lawyer said any amount is illegal. His face went pale. "You're still in contact with her?" She told me to document any attempts to reinstate rent requirements. Mom broke. "You've made us prisoners in our own home. You made a 14-year-old sign a lease or face homelessness. The eggshells are your own making." The next family gathering, Grandma asked why I looked thin. Mom jumped in. "Jordan's been difficult lately." I caught Kyle's eye. He looked at me with recognition. Later, he pulled me aside. "You got a lawyer?" His laugh was bitter. "Smart. I just signed it. Spent 3 years thinking that was normal. It's not normal, Kyle. What they did to you, to me, it's abuse." 2 months later, Kyle moved in with his girlfriend's family. He called once to say thanks for showing me I didn't deserve that. I'm in therapy now. The house got quieter. My parents and I moved around each other like ghosts. They never apologized, just pretended like it never happened.